so little snow is falling. It's pretty unusual for us in any winter, but this early in the winter, it's like, whoa. And it's not going to stick, I don't think. It's not that cold. So I am smoking a new to me Brian Doran. I guess you'd call that a Chubby Billiard. Is that great? I mean, whoa, thick, man. And, it just smokes great. First smokes great. He makes a great pipe. So, he's over in Wheeling, West Virginia. So if you have a chance to visit him, his site, his pipes are, I often really like them. They're kind of like a Jake Hackert, but a little bigger in a lot of senses, And like this is kind of like a Moretti pipe, but maybe not quite as theatrical. His pipes are a little over the top for me. So I'm smoking some HH Vintage Syrian that he sent along with it. So, and then he sent a nice note too. Great service, delightful pipe, and very reasonably priced. How can you go wrong? I mean, you have to like the style, but I do. And it even has my favorite little thing, which is an unfilled imperfection. Yeah, just something in the briar there that was revealed once the shape was made, and I like it. I actually like it. Too much perfection is kind of annoying. So, and that sense of perfection, oh God, do I even want to get into it? No, I really don't. Could be a good discussion, but it needs more back and forth than this forum provides. Anyway, so I'm really enjoying this. I was looking forward to getting it. When I saw it, I thought, oh, gotta get it. You know how that is? Pipe acquisition disorder. And Brian even said, when he was carving it, he thought of me, because I have a couple of his other pipes. And what do you know? It was like, buy it now. So, and it fits kind of under the brim of the hat. So, yeah, I don't know. It's awesome. My favorite pipe is always the one I'm smoking right at the moment. So, yeah, this is certainly a new favorite. So I'm standing in the woods here on my little walk to work, underneath like 10 different blue heron nests, which during the summer they're loud, they're like pterodactyls. And the place is just white with poop and like little dead fish lying on the trail and stuff. I've thought about diverting the trail, because the chance, if you were pooped on, you'd really know it. But right now it's completely quiet. They're gone somewhere else. And the poop has all been washed into the ground, so we're back to normal. This is one of the underappreciated items of winter wear, I would say, is a muffler. This one I got in Iceland, in Reykjavik. And it's a kind of special Icelandic sheep. That's a very, very old breed. Uh, it's super light, and it's so light and airy and kind of fuzzy. You don't really think it would be very warm or very substantial. You know? Oh, it's so warm. I have a sweater made out of it too that I picked up there, and it is just like, it's almost too warm. And it's really light. I don't know. Wool's kind of an amazing thing. So. But this, you can take it off if it gets too warm. You can wrap up. You could wrap your ears. I mean, it's just so versatile. Yeah. So, yeah. Winter wear. Now we're into pretty much winter, even though it's only early November. Smoke so nice. And that wide bit, I did put one of my little vinyl bits on it. Sorry, Brian. It just facilitates a grip. It's just soft enough. It's almost too thick on this pipe, but not quite. I can see how that would be an objection for some guys. But yeah, it's already kind of darkening here. By holding it, it was really blonde like this, and so this side's a little darker. I was looking at my motorcycle gear and ventilated padded pants and ventilated jackets that I had on the coat rack by the door. I'm thinking, I need to put those in a box and put them away for the winter, because I'm not going to be using that stuff. Yeah, so I guess I will broach that topic, and I wasn't going to earlier. It's kind of on my mind. So I volunteer on what is essentially a town board here in my little town. And so we were working on our work plan, which is required, or kind of a county entity. Our little town board thing. We call it a citizen advisory council, because we don't make any rules. We can't make any rules. We're not a rule-making body. But it's great for developing relationships with county staff, so you can actually get stuff done. And so that's where we excel at this very local level, is getting stuff done. Little projects. We make our work plan actionable, and so it isn't just these broad goals. It's like very specific, and at the end of the year you can say, did we do it or did we not do it? I think that's really important for volunteers, and we're all volunteers, to feel useful and to feel like we're making progress. Now the county, on the other hand, we had this delightful woman who's now the head of the Department of Community Development, we call it in our county. Very knowledgeable, very personable, but clearly a little different perspective, in that individual actionable projects are not what they're about. They're about process. And that process facilitates actionable projects. And I get it, it's totally appropriate. But it's a different perspective. And if we're not careful at our local level, we get caught up in being concerned about the process. And there is some concern we need to have, and we need to have an awareness. But if you get too caught up in process, it just kills that volunteer, let's get something done. Let's get this project done, because you're just operating at a higher level. And process I define as the workflow that is required to efficiently allow others to complete their projects. For instance, community development is all about building safety, building inspections, compliance with zoning, all that stuff. And so a very necessary county function, but they're more concerned with developing an ever-improving process to fulfill those requirements, and yet we're focused on this project. It's a different level. I don't think people often appreciate the difference. And when you work with county staff, they're very process focused, and so they sometimes almost act as if they don't care about the actual project as much. And they don't. They're interested in the process that allows many individual projects to be completed efficiently. So, and that's what government does. And so we may have a good discussion about how much government we want and what the role of that government is. And those are valid discussions, and this is not the right forum for that. But at the very local level, we are project oriented. And that's, I think, where people get frustrated with government, is they think, oh, government's just a bunch of bureaucrats and they don't care and they just have their process and that's all they care about. And there is some truth to that, but it's for the good, in that when it's done right, it efficiently accomplishes the goals and facilitates getting lots of projects done in a transparent way with clear constraints, the rules that you're bound by, and getting your permit flowing through smoothly, and where your permit is at all times, and what things are going to cost. It's just that transparency sometimes is a little more difficult to achieve. But I'm just about done with this ball. Anyway, it was a great meeting. We always have a good meeting. And it kind of makes you think about the role of government and how that affects the very local level, which is you and me. And sometimes they have different objectives, and you have to talk about those things to reveal that the objectives are in fact different. And not to get frustrated by that, knowing that they're doing, I'll tell you, the people at our county, that's a great thing about being part of this town board, is you get to meet a lot of the county staff. And they are just the most devoted, efficient, there is not deadwood there. So, wonderful people. They just have a slightly different take on it. Anyway, I guess I'm done with that. But, anyway, a little walk through the woods with a nice pipe, some good tobacco. A little snow in the air. It's great.